Today we're here in Chesapeake. We're actually at Big Ugly Brewing Company. We're going to talk all things pros and cons of living here in Chesapeake. Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Dan Inman. I am a realtor here in the area. My wife is a mortgage lender, and we kind of co-own a little company called Inman Home Services, kind of a one-stop shop for all things buying, selling, and investing in real estate. If we can help you and your family, you can hit the information down below. All right, so hitting a few of the pros. One of the main pros of living in Chesapeake, Virginia is that they have fantastic schools. You don't have to take my word for it. You can check any rating school system website that's out there. Greatschools.org is probably the most popular. But I mean, two examples would be Hickory and Grassfield High School. Both of those are the most highly rated high schools in the area. You're likely going to see that the majority of the schools, whether it's middle school or elementary, all of them are rated pretty well. Those just happen to stand out amongst to be the best. In those, I think about a third of the population or a third of the student population is in AP courses, which is what we call the advanced courses. You know, if you're taking like an honors class or that type of thing, about a third of the students are in those. They tend to have really good sports organizations that are there. The majority of the students are testing 10 to 15 points higher than the state average for social studies, sciences, math, that type of thing. So again, most people that are looking for, Chesapeake, living in Chesapeake, are coming out here because of the fantastic schools. I've even had a few clients who, maybe they bought their first home in Norfolk or Virginia Beach, or even Newport News or Portsmouth, and then we went to go either sell those or maybe do a move-up, kind of a move-up buyer, where we rented it out and then they moved because they have a young family and they wanted, everybody's looking to get the best for their kids, just like myself. And if you can't afford private school and maybe you want to put that, because sometimes private schools, man, they can be ridiculously expensive. We put our kids at a local private school for a few years, but even then it was like $1,100 a month. It was just crazy expensive, which was more than our mortgage was at that time. So, if you're thinking about doing something like that, you may end up going, well, you know what, if I put that money that I would be putting into a private education, I could put it into a mortgage, get way more house, move to Chesapeake, and have a fantastic public school option that's available to you. Another one of the pros for Chesapeake over, say, Virginia Beach or Norfolk specifically is going to be jet noise. Obviously, we still have I think it's Fentress Air Base or what's my notes say here? Fentress Airfield, there we go. I should know that, I was in the military. Fentress Airfield over in Butt Station area, but the flight pattern really lends to keep the majority of that noise in Virginia Beach, and so there's just not very much jet noise. If you love jet noise, sort of like I do, then Chesapeake's not going to be your spot for that for obvious reasons. Let's hit next. Big pro for Chesapeake is going to be low crime. Again, you don't need to take my word for it. You can go to Crime Mappers. I can't remember if that's .com or .org. If you go to Trulia, I think they have probably the best crime mapping tool that's out there. I really wish HomeSnap had that integrated. HomeSnap, if you're paying attention, please put that into your app. It is super, super helpful. But if you go on there, you'll see that other than South Norfolk, which is considered or is part of Chesapeake, there's really, really, really low crime basically everywhere in all of Chesapeake. Again, Chesapeake is just kind of, I kind of joke, I was telling Sean, who's my cameraman behind, I said, one of the things about Chesapeake is that it's like super family friendly, but there's not jack crap to do out here. A lot of people just move out here for the safety and for great schools. I would say like a third reason would just be space. Chesapeake, Sean, are you familiar with what urban sprawl is, or suburban sprawl? So suburban sprawl is, let's say you have a hub, like a city. So Norfolk is a good example of this, where you have like an actual downtown, but effectively as more and more people come to the area, you have little neighborhoods that build out and out and out and out and away from the center of like the shopping and downtown. So Chesapeake has a lot of that kind of going on. Other than like Greenbrier, which is one of the biggest shopping areas, it's just neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood with not much surrounding it. Most of those neighborhoods are going to be very similar in price point. Depending on the age, you're going to see things like, you know, single-story brick ranches. You're going to see some, you know, 90s construction of like mock kind of colonial looking houses, and all the way up into like big mansion where they're really, really quite big. Another pro I think maybe is underrated about Chesapeake would be that there's a decent amount of new construction. Like I said in my Virginia Beach kind of video, new construction comes with a lot of benefits. Most people are looking at it because, you know, they get into a house, you're going to live there for the first 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and there's not going to really be anything that's wrong with it. You know, all the systems are new, the roof's new, the windows are new. Another huge thing is going to be that your floor plan, right? Modern floor plans, you know, what I find is a lot of people like that where you walk in and the first thing you have is like a nice little foyer or foyer, however you want to say that. And then you also have usually to the left like a flex space or say like a home office, that type of thing. Yeah, another piece that would I think is underrated about new construction is just efficiency. A lot of builders today are building homes that are way tighter, better sealed, better energy efficiency overall. So your utility bills tend to be either the same as something much smaller or much cheaper at the same square footage, if that makes any sense. Another thing you're gonna get is just you know, modern features. So like I've seen a few that have what are those stupid drawers? The warmer drawers where you put like, you know, cups in and that type of thing. Never heard of this thing? It's a bougie drawer that's made specifically for like putting coffee cups and things like that keeps it warm so that when you pour your coffee, God forbid, it lowers a few degrees.
Treat yourself.
There are some in there in the higher end places. The other one would just be like a wine cooler, beer cooler. Those are additional pieces that, you know, tend to be in some of the newer construction, higher end stuff that's out there. Downsides of new construction, I mean, it always comes at a cost. Buying new construction is sort of like buying a new car. To a degree, you know, as soon as you drive it off the lot, it's going to be worth a little bit less, meaning it's probably going to take a little bit longer for you to gain equity in the house because you paid the inflated premium at the beginning versus you know, buying something that's resale. It's got a little wear and tear on it. So, you know, take that as you will. Lastly, would be on new construction. Again, I think there are more pros than cons here, but new construction, again, comes at a premium. If I went and like looked at all the averages, so did my homework here, the average home sale in Chesapeake for detached, or excuse me, this is all combined, $385,000 for new construction would be the average. So again, you get what you pay for. New construction has all the benefits. Again, most people really, really enjoy it. So let's hit a few of the cons that are about Chesapeake. Number one, Sean and I were just kind of joking on our drive out here. No offense, Chesapeake, but you're kind of vanilla. There's not a whole lot to do out here. Most of the things that you're going to do in Chesapeake are going to be outdoor related. They have some decent parks. They have the Northwest River Park and Campground. I've been there several times with my family. If it rains, man, do not go on a heavy rain night because it is just a swampy mess out there. But on a nice fall or spring weekend when, you know, it hasn't rained in like a week or so, it's fantastic. Lots of hiking, you know, fishing, things to do with the kids that are out there. I used to take my family out with the dogs. It's fantastic. Another out one would be Lake Drummond. You know, it's probably one of the bigger places to go like kayaking or canoeing, and you kind of feel like you're out in the middle of nowhere. You kind of are out in the middle of nowhere, but if you're willing to go out with, 14, cans of DEET to get rid of those mosquitoes, myself, I'm particularly mosquito prone. I don't know, are you, Sean?
They don't like my blood as much.
Good God, man. I'm like I'm like a walking, what are those little zapper machines?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's me. you know.
I thought you were going to say an IV.
No, like, well, that might be it. But I go around, and as long as you're around me, the mosquitoes are destroying my, body, and everybody else around me is pretty safe. Anyway, so Lake Drummond can be a really good park to go to. Oak Grove's a little bit further north, going to be a little more city feeling, but again, another really good one. Again, just not a whole lot to do. They have Chilled Ponds Ice Sports Complex. It's got some ice skating and some hockey, but again, this is not huge in this area. I would say one of the things that, again, I have this under the cons list, but I'm going to add it as a pro. I love the Cinema Cafe. I'm really sad that movie theaters have been like either shut down or just not as frequently going to, because COVID-19 things going on. You don't want to be surrounded with people with them coughing and sneezing all over. However, Cinema Cafe is just such a cool experience. You get to go literally sit in a freaking lazy boy with a button attached to it that you can call to have someone bring you a beer and nachos. It's like all the benefits of being at home brought to the movie theater, but I don't have to throw the trash away. Again, kind of a con is there's not as much to do here in Chesapeake. We're in one of the only breweries that's down here. I think it's the best one that's down here is Big Ugly Brewing Company. It's a quick side story here. I used to have a 89 Chevy Scottsdale truck. It was dark brown and light brown, like shading color, absolute hunk of crap. And I literally called it Big Ugly. So when I came here for the first time and I saw that they had like an old pickup truck as like their mascot, I felt right at home. I didn't even have a lift on it. I just had big tires on it, and it had big old rust spots on the back, and it was just, that poor truck deserved a better owner, because I was a young Navy guy and didn't know what the hell I was doing. One of the funny things I think that's here, again, I'm just kind of riffing on side stories, is downstairs they have the water tap. So you go over and you get water and you pull it. They actually have a tap on there, and on the tap is actually a Bud Light handle, which I think is absolutely hilarious. I want to tell a joke that I heard, and if you want to hear a really good joke about beer and European beer, hit me up below and I'll tell it to you, but it's inappropriate to tell on here. Again, just to hit on a few more things that are just like not much to do, like things like, leave that wah in there, that's hilarious. If you want to go like Busch Gardens, which is like, outdoor theme park with roller coasters, that's up near Williamsburg. If you want to go to a water park, that's, a 45-minute drive from here. If you want to go to the ocean front, it's a 30 to 40-minute drive from here. If you want to go with like where there's good hiking, it's going to be a minimum of 45 minutes. If you want to go to the Outer Banks, it's, an hour and a half away from here. Just the downside of living in Chesapeake is, again, everything is a 30-minute drive. Even coming from Norfolk, it was a 25-minute drive for us, and that was zero traffic. Another con, traffic. Good God, traffic can be awful. Have you ever driven in Greenbrier, Sean? Greenbrier, basically almost any time of the day when the shops are open, is awful. I went shopping in Greenbrier once during holiday shopping, Sean. Ridiculous. I think the exit alone took me 15 minutes just to get off, and then I had to find parking over there. It was terrible, absolutely terrible. However, their shopping over there is pretty good. They have tons and tons and tons of stores, bridges and tolls, on top of having to travel another 20 to 30 minutes to go do anything. You're going to be paying a toll for it, and it's as a realtor where I'm driving around all the time, again, that's just a huge pain in the ass. Again, don't forget, you need to go get yourself an Easy Pass, load it up with $30. They send you an email reminder if you get low on your funds, but you're literally going to save 2 to 3 times the amount of money getting the Easy Pass versus just paying by either plate or and having them ship that bill to your house. So go get the Easy Pass, link below. Last one, and I've already kind of mentioned this, because we're right next to the Great Dismal Swamp, mosquitoes. This is true for Norfolk and Virginia Beach too, but because you're next to the Great Dismal Swamp, mosquitoes are they're destructive. And I feel like you can almost hear them like a hummingbird, man. They're so big, and you swat them, this big blood splot on your freaking skin. And for people like me, I think O types tend to attract them more than others, but get yourself some really high quality, non-organic, get the DEET, go for the full-on cancer-causing stuff, because I hate getting bit. I'm joking, but it's just, I absolutely hate mosquitoes. And being in Chesapeake, I've had a few listings where I come down here and I got, someone's close to the Great Dismal Swamp, and every single freaking time I'm swarmed by those little jerks. So, every time I think of like mosquitoes, I think of the mosquito in Jurassic Park stuck in the amber. Yeah. Oh, sorry. ADD moment. Anyway. I guess one little bonus thing here at the end I think is worth considering. I'm picking on Chesapeake here a little bit, but to be honest, man, Chesapeake has a fantastic, especially as you go a little bit further south, a very, very nice, like small world, small town feel. If you want good schools, if you want something that's super low crime, if you want a little bit of space, and you don't mind traveling, probably the majority of my clients that I help buy in Chesapeake they work and live in Norfolk or on the base, and they don't mind doing that little 35-minute commute because they want the space and they want the schools for their kids. So as much as I'm picking on Chesapeake now, it really is a nice place to be and live. If you really enjoy doing like kayaking and some trails and that type of thing, they have some decent selections there. Just the downside is you have to travel outside of the city of Chesapeake to get anything else done. So that is the pros and cons of Chesapeake. If you would, maybe hit that like button if it's something that you found helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it. Again, my name is Dan Inman. I'm a realtor. I work here in the Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia area, the 757, if you will. If we can serve your family, help you find a place to be, shoot us a call, shoot us an email. All the information's down below. Peace out.